don't know the proper name for that. It looks like a triangle. Alrighty guys, thank you for joining me once again. My name is Hunter Wilkins and this is Father and Forge. So I'm working on another video right now, actually at the same time as this, but it's actually taking me a lot longer than I thought, trying to just do a little bit of work here after I get off my my job here and there. So it's actually been going on for a few weeks now. I'm just making this one knife, and but it's just, I'm just putting in a little bit of time after work, so it's not like it's literally taking me that long. It's just that I'm only putting in like an hour or two when I work on it. So I thought it would be cool because I had this this idea for a video a while back and I never went forward with it. So what we're gonna do today, I'm just gonna do kind of like a sub video that'll be completely separate, and we're gonna go into spine filing. So spine filing, let's see if I can get a shot of this. This still has the blue dicom on it, so you can't really see it too well, but spine filing is a little controversial in the blade making world, I guess. Some people love it, some people hate it. Personally, I like it. I think it looks cool. I think it adds a little something to the knife. It gives it a little unique look. I like it, and I think that people, when they see it, it stands out, and I think they become a little bit more interested in your work. That's just my opinion. That's that, and I'm as with everything, I'm not an expert. I'm not the best at this, but how do you get the best at something? You do it, and you do it over and over and over and over again. So for all of you who don't like spine filing, screw you, I'm gonna keep doing it. So let's go right in. You're gonna need a few things when you're doing this. So obviously you're gonna need some files. Now for the pattern that I'm doing, I'm using a round, and I use the triangle. So I'm gonna use my round file and the triangle file, we'll call it. I'm gonna use a ruler, and we're gonna use some dicom layout fluid. You can get blue, you can get red, whatever. Alex Steele loves the blue, hates the red. Personally, I kind of think I like the red, but I have the blue right now, so that's what we use. So if you have a vise, I recommend locking this in. This is not a finished blade, by the way, so I'm not worried about scratching it or anything in the vise. Otherwise I would put some cloth in there, but I'm not worried about that. So I'm gonna take the ruler, and I gotta see where I was marking, because I started doing this the other day, so that's kind of, I should have finished it, but I didn't. I've got a little scrap piece of steel here. So actually, when I first started, I did the layout fluid all over it, and I just went in every 16th of an inch. I'm not sure what that is in metric. This is not a metric ruler. It's a damn shame. So every 16th of an inch, I made a little line across. I'm going to continue doing that. Oops. Around the butt of the knife here. And this doesn't necessarily have to be perfect, but it's gonna be a guide for where you set your file marks. So, I mean, the more accurate, the better. All right, I'm just gonna do this last one, because then we have to do the underside. So I wish I had done it on the back of the spine. That would have been a little bit more, a little bit easier to explain, but that's okay. This vise only cost me 20 bucks, by the way. It's not a great vise, but I was happy to find it because I was using this drill press vise, and oh man, I left it in got a leaky spot in my roof. This thing's all rusted. I'm gonna have to clean that up. But I was using that vise for everything, and that was really hard. This vise is much more versatile. I can rotate it around. It's attached. It's sturdy. It's fine. So let me get my glasses, and we'll get going. Okay, so I tried to get you a little closer here so you can see what I'm actually going to be doing. I got to remember my pattern here. All right, so for this particular pattern, it basically goes circular. Then there's one triangle angled down like this, and there's another triangle angled up, and this one's angled, I guess that's the same angle. No, not really. All right, that's hard to explain. You'll see. So there's a triangle cut here that's basically like a it's not necessarily the exact ivy pattern, but it's just a ivy pattern that I've done on a couple of things. So I'm doing that again. I liked how it turned out on the other knife, so we're gonna do it again. But basically, so my last cut was a circle where I left off, and again, this is kind of confusing because I did this on a different day. So I'm gonna come in about here. Get that a little tighter. Come in about here. This is really awkward too because the camera is in my way. So I'm gonna start a cut. And this is not hardened steel yet. That's very important. If you try to do this after you harden, if you only quench the blade, you might be okay to do the spine, but you're going to get hard spots up toward the blade and down on the other side, and you're not really going to be able to do it to the full extent. So I also try, as I'm doing this, I'm going to cut it a little deep, but then I'm going to start kind of bringing it up. I'm almost trying to curve it a little bit as I do. And you could use smaller files too. Come back with a needle file and clean it up a little bit more. That would look pretty good. So then for my next cut, we're going to do the same thing. Just move it a little further down. I think I went a little bit too far. When you're setting the cuts, I go like one direction until I can start going that back and forth. So I'll do a couple passes like this basically. One direction. That way I'm not sliding all over the place trying to cut it in and just destroying everything. So the other one, I guess they both curve the same way, never mind. So I'm trying to kind of hook this way just ever so slightly. And it doesn't always work exactly how you want, but that's knife making in general. And you want to get these pretty deep too, because when you do your hand sanding or any grinding work after you've got these in, if they're too shallow, you're basically just going to erase them with your grinds. Alright, so now that's in pretty good. I'm going to start the circle. Now, this is my tip for this. I don't start my circles with this. I start my circles with this. So I'm going to cut in right about there. And I'm alternating sides on my circles too. So there's going to be this last circle is over here, so this one's going to be on this side. So Like I said, a couple passes one direction, trying not to hit the camera. And then I might turn this just a little bit. So I'm coming on pretty hard with it at an angle. Then I'm going to kind of turn it this way, or turn it this way a little bit, just so that flat gets basically just to widen up that little nick that I made. And that's all you need. So that actually should be sufficient. So for this one, I gotta try to come around the camera. Let's try this. Couple of single direction passes. Notice that I'm angling this as well. This is not something you have to do. It's just the way that I am doing it for this particular design that I'm doing. I don't know if this is the actual if people actually intentionally do it like this, but I think it looks pretty cool, so that's what I'm doing. Still can't go back and forth. If that happens, it's not that big of a deal, because I'm going to go back and we'll basically clean these edges up anyway. Alright, I gotta move this just a little bit. So there you go. I'm sorry I have to change the angle on you, but I can't see what I'm doing or do it properly with the camera in my way. So one thing I do is I always start at a pretty sharp angle, and then to bring that shape up into the actual spine, I'm gonna flatten that angle out a little bit. And you just want to try to take your time. You know, it's not something to rush, because if you screw up one spot, it does look weird. And, you know, like I said, I'm not the best at this to begin with, so I really want to try to make it as good as possible. I think that's pretty good. So now we're just basically going to repeat the pattern. So I'll speed through that real quick.
so that's about enough of that. So you might have a question, well, where do I stop? I mean, the choice is yours. I think it looks really cool to go all the way up the ricasso, and then I'd like to do partially up on the actual spine of the blade itself, but the decision is yours, you know. So let me clean this up a little bit and I'll show you the final pattern and we'll close out. Okay, so at the end of the day, you're going to end up with something like this. Let's focus here. I gotta do some more sanding on the bottom here, but you get the idea. Alright, so that's pretty much it as far as how to spine file a knife. That's it. That's the basic thing there. So like I said, some people don't like this. Some people think it's stupid. Some people don't think it adds any value to the knife. Which does it? I don't know, but do I think it's stupid? No, I think it looked cool. And I want to keep practicing at it and get better at it, and you know, get more comfortable with different patterns and stuff of that nature. So I'm going to channel my inner Bob Ross here and just go to tell you that you know, if you're in the knife making community on like social media, for instance, people are going to give you that advice. They're going to say, oh, don't do it, it's a waste of time, nobody pays more for it, whatever. But honestly, at the end of the day, this is your art, so do what you want to do with it. You know, that's what it is. It's an art form. I think it looks cool. So this is spine filing a knife. This knife will be finished hopefully soon and available for purchase. You can follow me on Instagram for more information about that. God, I haven't made a video in so long. I gotta get in my outro game here. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. That means a huge deal to me. Check me out on Instagram. The links are down below, because I've got a pretty good following on Instagram. There's a lot of stuff that I post on Instagram that you don't see in videos. I'm learning how to skateboard, so I'm figuring out if I want to do like another channel for that, or just throw an odd skateboard video in here somewhere. I don't really know how I want to do that. I don't think I want to do it that way. I do throw it on my Instagram because I don't feel like it matters as much to have multiple things. So I've got like my skateboarding videos, I've got some cardistry stuff on there, but it's mostly my knife stuff, and that's that. But all right, that's it. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.